week one of the fantasy football season, and here's a few quarterbacks I have as sleeper options this week. The first guy, Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know last season, a very bad rookie season here for Trevor Lawrence, where at one point he didn't throw a touchdown for 7 games in a row, I believe, here. But this week here, week one, fresh start, some new weapons around them. Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk, they signed in the offseason. Zay Jones as well, and also Travis Etienne, former college teammate, now going to be a mainstay in the backfield as well for Lawrence and this Jacksonville Jaguar team. So last season, you just throw that out of the window. It was some growing pains with only 12 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. But right here in week one, he's got a good matchup versus the Washington Commanders. I know the Commanders, they got a couple impact players on defense. Quarterback with Chase Young, obviously, and a few other guys here. But I think this ball game could be a mini shootout between these two teams here. And at least Lawrence, he has some speed guys on this roster. I don't think Christian Kirk will have a great year, or even Evan Ingram, but at least it's better upgrades than what he played with last season here, is Trevor Lawrence. So Lawrence, we know he was a great college quarterback and even high school quarterback, and was the number one pick for a reason last season in the NFL draft. And I think here in week one, as a sneaky number 2 quarterback play, or if you play in a 16, 18 team league, Lawrence, I think, could be a top 15 option this week here at quarterback. And he's a quarterback that's definitely a sleeper option. And it wouldn't surprise me if he has anywhere from 15 to 20 fantasy point range. This week, the second quarterback, Jameis Winston of the New Orleans Saints. A famous Jameis this season. He's coming into the year healthy. And last year, he got off to a pretty good start before he torn that ACL with 14 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions, which is a new thing here for Winston. He's usually a turnover machine and a gunslinger in his Tampa Bay Buc days. And right here, he's got a great matchup week one at the Atlanta Falcons. This Falcon team is going to be one of the worst teams in the leagues here, in my opinion, because they just are rebuilding. They got no impact players. Defense here is Atlanta. And even over the last few seasons, this defense has been torched. And now with really no one on that D and a rebuilding D, I think Jameis Winston could have a good ball game. And he's got pretty decent weapons. They got Chris Olave in the NFL draft. Obviously, Michael Thomas, you can't count on him, but he possibly might play in this ball game, even though he's nicked up already with a hamstring injury. And I think Alvin Kamara has a better season coming out of the backfield, receiving as well. So Winston as a sleeper this week. If it's a 2-quarterback league, or like I said with Lawrence, you're in a 16, 18 team league and you need to start someone, I think Winston could be a decent start this week. And it wouldn't surprise me to see him get close to 300 yards with 2 or 3 touchdowns in this one. And the third and final quarterback I have as a sleeper option this week's Ryan Tannehill of the Tennessee Titans. So the Titans here, it was a tough season last year where they just couldn't get anything going towards the end of the year. And Tannehill, he's got to step up now and get things back on track. I know A.J. Brown's gone in a trade to the Eagles. We know Julio Jones, he was pretty bad with the Titans and injured, and they got rid of him, and now he's with Tampa Bay. And now Ryan Tannehill here, he's got some new weapons in Robert Woods, who I think is going to have a good season, and Treylon Burks. And you still got Derrick Henry, possibly the best running back in the league still here. So right now, great matchup versus the New York Giants in week one. Their secondary, I know they drafted some guys and signed guys here and there, but it's still not going to be enough. This Titan team, I think, has a good ball game versus this New York Giant team. And I think the Titans defense puts Tannehill in this offense in good positioning. So right here is a sleeper option. If you're in a pinch for a quarterback, I think Tannehill could at least have 20-plus fantasy points in this one. And I like him as a sleeper this week because of the matchups. That's a few quarterbacks I like his sleepers here for week one of the fantasy football season.